Daniel Harper adjusted his tie in the rearview mirror of his leased Toyota Camry parked outside a sleek office building in downtown Omaha, Nebraska. At 36, he was a senior account executive for Horizon Tech Solutions, a software company selling cloud-based CRM platforms to mid-sized businesses. His briefcase held a polished pitch deck. His phone buzzed with client emails, and his mind raced with the question that had haunted him for months. Is this who I am? Today, May 15th, 2025, he had a 10 a.m. meeting with a logistics firm, a $200,000 deal on the line. But beneath his crisp navy suit, Daniel felt the weight of a career that was both his strength and his struggle. Omaha was a city of 500,000, a hub of startups and legacy firms, its skyline a mix of glass towers and brick warehouses. Daniel had moved here 5 years ago from Lincoln, chasing a promotion and a fresh start after a divorce. Sales was his game, $95,000 a year, plus commissions that could push him past $120,000 in a good quarter. He was good too, with a 70% close rate, a knack for reading people, and a smile that disarmed even the grumpiest CFOs. But the grind, cold calls, quotas, late nights, was eroding his spark. And at 36, he wondered if he was selling solutions or just himself. The logistics firm, Apex Freight, was a big fish. Daniel stepped into their conference room, shaking hands with their COO, Ms. Patel, a sharp woman in her 50s. "We need efficiency," she said, her eyes appraising. "Convince me your platform's worth the price." Daniel launched into his pitch, seamless but genuine, weaving data, 20% productivity gains, 15% cost savings, with stories of clients who transformed their operations. He read Miss Patel's nods, her questions, adjusting his tone, leaning in when she hesitated. "It's not just software," he said, locking eyes. "It's trust. We're with you every step." An hour later, she extended a hand. "Send the contract. Let's do this." He left with a signed letter of intent, a $50,000 commission in sight. But the high was fleeting. In his car, he checked his phone. 3 missed calls from his boss, a quota update, a text from his sister. "You okay? You seemed off last week." Daniel exhaled, the sale a win, but the question lingered. What am I choosing for my life? Daniel's days were a whirlwind of strategy and hustle. He was up at 6 a.m., scanning LinkedIn for leads, emailing prospects, and prepping for meetings. His territory covered Nebraska and Iowa, a mix of tech startups, manufacturers, and retailers, each needing Horizon's CRM to track customers, streamline sales, or analyze data. The software market was booming. Sales occupations were projected to grow 3% through 2033, with top earners like software sales reps hitting $130,000. But competition was fierce, with rivals like Salesforce and Zoho undercutting prices. His routine was relentless. Breakfast at a diner, black coffee, eggs, morning calls from his home office, afternoon meetings across Omaha, evenings at networking events or revising proposals. He averaged 50 hours a week, more during quarter end when quotas loomed like storm clouds. A good month meant $10,000 in commissions. A bad one, $2,000, barely covering his rent, $1,800, car payment, $400, and alimony, $600, to his ex, Laura. Sales was a performance, and Daniel was a master. He studied clients, their LinkedIn posts, their company's earnings reports, tailoring pitches to their pain points. At a farm equipment supplier, he'd talk yield optimization. At a brewery, customer retention. His charm was his edge, honed over a decade, starting as a car salesman at 22, then moving to tech at 28. But charm had a cost. Every smile, every handshake chipped away at his authenticity. And some nights, staring at his apartment's bare walls, he felt like a stranger to himself. Omaha was Daniel's stage, its people his audience and allies. His clients were a cross-section of the city. Ms. Patel, the COO with a no-nonsense streak. Mr. Jensen, a factory owner who loved golf and griped about software costs. Lena, a startup founder who bought Horizon's platform after Daniel's pitch, won her trust. He knew their quirks. Miss Patel's chai obsession, Mr. Jensen's corny dad jokes, and used them to build rapport, turning prospects into partners. His team at Horizon was a lifeline. His boss, Karen, a 45-year-old sales director, pushed him hard, but fair, her mantra. Sell value, not price. His colleague, Jamal, a 29-year-old rep, was his sparring partner, trading tips over beers at the trap bar. "You're a closer, Dan," Jamal said once, clinking glasses. "But you gotta live too. You're all work, no play." Their intern, Maya, a 22-year-old marketing major, brought fresh energy, her TikTok-inspired pitches, inspiring Daniel to modernize his approach. Outside work, Daniel's circle was small but vital. His sister Rachel, a nurse in Denver, checked in weekly, her texts a mix of concern and teasing. "Found a girlfriend yet, or still married to your quota?" His neighbor, Mr. Ortiz, a retired mechanic, shared stories over coffee. His advice simple: sell what you believe in, mijo. Rest is noise. His friend, Carlos, a realtor, dragged him to pick up basketball, pushing him to get out of your head. Daniel's personal life was quieter. His divorce at 32 had left scars. Laura wanted kids. He wasn't ready. Their 5-year marriage unraveling. He dated sporadically, a few Bumble matches fizzling when his schedule overwhelmed. At 36, he wanted connection, but feared repeating past mistakes. His apartment, with its IKEA couch and unframed photos, felt like a waypoint, not a home. Sales was a high-wire act, and Daniel felt the strain. Quotas were brutal. $1.2 million annually, $300,000 per quarter. Miss 1, and his bonus shrank. Miss 2, and Karen's performance review loomed. The market was cutthroat. Competitors slashed prices, and clients demanded discounts, squeezing his margins. Last month, a $150,000 deal collapsed when a client chose a cheaper rival, costing Daniel $30,000 in commission and a sleepless week. The job's toll was physical too. Long drives across Iowa, late nights on proposals, and endless coffees left him with a twitchy stomach and a reliance on Advil for tension headaches. His gym membership gathered dust, his 6-foot frame softening, a far cry from his college basketball days. Mental fatigue was worse. Every pitch required peak energy, every rejection a blow to his ego. The Bureau of Labor Statistics pegged sales as high stress, with 30% burnout rates, and Daniel felt it, his enthusiasm dimming. His biggest fear was irrelevance. Tech was evolving. AI-driven CRMs, automated lead scoring, and younger reps like Maya were fluent in tools Daniel was still learning. Horizon offered training, but $500 courses in data analytics or AI sales ate into his budget. He took one, mastering Salesforce's new AI module, but the pace was relentless. At 36, was he peaking? or slipping. Personal struggles compounded the pressure. Rachel's calls reminded him of their parents, gone a decade, their work ethic his blueprint, but their early deaths, a warning. Laura's alimony checks were a monthly sting, a reminder of failure. Dating felt like another pitch. Sell yourself, close the deal. And Daniel wasn't sure he had the energy. He journaled, a habit from therapy, writing, "I'm good at sales, but what am I selling for? Money? Pride? Or just survival?" Change came unexpectedly, sparked by a client meeting gone wrong. At a manufacturing firm, Daniel pitched to a skeptical VP, Mr. Conway, who interrupted, "Why should I trust you? You're just selling me a shiny toy." Daniel faltered, his usual charm failing, and left without a handshake. The deal dead. In his car, he gripped the wheel, the failure cutting deeper than lost commission. I'm selling trust, but do I trust myself? That night, at the trap, Jamal sensed his mood. "You're burning out, Dan," he said, sliding him a beer. "You're the best closer I know, but you're running on empty. What do you want? Not just what Horizon wants." Daniel paused, the question a mirror. He wanted impact, not just income. Clients who thrived, a life with purpose, maybe love. He realized he'd been coasting, letting quotas define him. At 36, he wasn't done. He was ready to choose. The next day, he acted. He pitched Karen on a new role, training junior reps, blending his sales skills with mentorship. Training specialists earned $65,000, less than his current pay, but offered stability and impact with 6% growth. Karen agreed to a trial, pairing him with Maya to coach her pitches. Daniel shone, his feedback sharpening her close rate, and Maya's gratitude, "You're a natural, Dan," reignited his fire. He also diversified. He enrolled in a $1,000 AI sales certification, aiming for enterprise accounts, where reps earned $150,000. He pitched Horizon on a nonprofit initiative, offering discounted CRMs to local charities, winning a $50,000 contract with a food bank. The deal paid $5,000 commission, but felt like his proudest close, aligning with his values. Omaha was Daniel's anchor, its people his fuel. Miss Patel sent a thank you note. Apex Freight's CRM boosting their revenue 18%. Mr. Jensen invited him to a golf outing, their banter turning to a $100,000 renewal. Lena, the startup founder, referred him to 3 clients, calling him the guy who gets it. The city wasn't flashy, but it was real. Its diners, bars, and boardrooms a stage for Daniel's craft. His team grew tighter. Karen promoted him to lead trainer, a $10,000 raise, and Jamal joined his nonprofit pitch, their friendship deepening. Maya landed her first big deal, crediting Daniel's coaching, and gifted him a coffee mug, world's best mentor. His sister visited, seeing his new spark. "You're alive again, Danny," she said, hugging him. Even his personal life shifted. At a networking event, he met Sarah, a 34-year-old HR manager, her wit matching his. They swapped stories over drinks, her laugh easing his guard. They weren't serious yet, but their coffee date felt like a start. Mr. Ortiz, over coffee, nodded. "You're selling your heart now, not just software. That's the real deal." By fall, Daniel's life was fuller. Training became his passion, coaching 10 reps to a 20% sales bump. His salary steady at $105,000 with bonuses. The AI certification landed him a $200,000 enterprise deal, his biggest yet. Commission $40,000. The nonprofit initiative grew, Verizon donating $100,000 in software, Daniel's name on the press release. He started a blog, The Human Sale, sharing tips on authentic selling, hitting 2,000 readers, a side hustle, earning $200 a month. He moved to a better apartment, hanging photos, Rachel, his parents, Omaha's riverfront. Sarah became a regular. Their dates a mix of hikes and late-night talks. He wasn't ready for love, but he was open. A shift from his guarded years. His journal filled with new entries. I'm a salesman, but also a teacher, a builder, a man finding his way. One evening, Daniel stood in his office, prepping a training session. Omaha's lights beyond the window. The Apex deal closed. Miss Patel emailing, "You delivered." He wasn't just selling software, he was selling trust, growth, himself. At 36, he'd chosen a path, not a finish line. He opened his laptop, drafting a blog post about sales as service. The words a promise. The future was his, one pitch at a time.